Hey there, welcome to week 74 of Supercharged Fridays. We have a fantastic topic to talk about today, which is related to how to get a job with absolutely no experience whatsoever. It sounds contrarian, but it's very possible. And we have the lovely Kwan Segal. Am I saying that right?
Yes, that sounds correct. So now,
We have the lovely Kwan Segal who's joining us from Chicago. It is bright and early, 7 in the morning. She's already been up for a little while. So if you guys are watching us, drop in the comments. I know it takes a bit of time between us going live and you guys finding out we're live. So drop in the comments and tell us that you can see us. It's extremely warm where I am in Brussels. It's we are going through a heat wave, so it's like yeah, it's special. I can't believe I'm waiting for rain and actually some, cooler weather. So drop in and tell us where you are. Tell us what time it is. And yeah, excited to talk to Quan today about this juicy little topic on, getting a job when the odds are set against you. So, firstly, Quan, very warm welcome.
thank you so much for this opportunity, Sonal. And, you know, I am a big fan of your show. All your shows, even me, I'm a career coach. I learn a lot from it. Very insightful, very helpful. Is the perfect way to end the week.
Oh, thank you. I love that you said that because they say no man is an island, right? So nobody knows everything. So I've
Mhm.
invited so many coaches in so many different fields to come in because, and I hear things like, yeah, how can you invite? Aren't they your competition? I'm like, no such thing. Absolutely no such thing. We've got a lot to learn and we can increase the size of the audience and then more people learn about Quan. This way, Quan's audience, hopefully they're watching us,
Yes.
they're going to learn about me. It's win-win. And if you guys are going to be watching us in the replay, come and say hi, hashtag replay. If you're watching us live, say hashtag live. So I can already see comments coming in. So I'm going to, flash them pretty quickly. So Quan, while I do that, for those who may not be familiar with you or your work, would love for you to uh, tell us a little bit about yourself. And before you do that, I'm going to tell our lovely audience, and I know you guys are watching from all over the world, there's three reasons I can think of why I asked Quan to be here today. I could not think of anyone better. Number one, um, Quan has an experience in human capital management, understands learning and systems and how these things work. Number two, when it comes to career change, massive career change, Quan has lived it. And she's going to tell us about that story. And number three, she's taken her strengths. I'm talking about you like you're not here, right? She's taken her strengths and now helps students full time, particularly students who are not citizens of the United States, have gone there to study and are going to be looking for work. And she helps them find work no matter what their citizenship status is. So, with that, Quan, tell us a little bit about what you do and how you got here.
Thank you so much, Sona, for your kind introduction. And hello, everyone from Chicago. Again, my name is Kwan Segal and originally from Bangkok, Thailand, and now living in Chicago. So maybe I can just give a little bit of, why I started doing this career
Yes.
coaching for international students. So my past life is human capital consultant. I have 10 plus years of work experience before moving to the States and with my MBA as well. But when I moved here, it was not that easy to find jobs. I never been unemployed before, but I did not get any call, any interview for many, many months. I
And when
went
was this, Quan? When did you move to the US?
7 years ago,
7 years ago. Yeah.
2014. Before that, I
Yeah.
like traveled back and forth, but permanently moved here
Ah,
seven
okay,
years
okay. So
ago.
before you continue, quick hello to Niatu, who's made the
Ah,
introduction, and thanks to
Niato.
him, we
Thank
know
you.
him.
Yes, Niato
Lovely
is
that you're here.
amazing.
Hopefully, he got a good gym workout. So,
Right.
yeah. So you reached the US,
Mm-hmm.
you apply to positions, you hear nothing back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes, at that time, correct. So I knew that there must be something wrong with my job search process, right? apparently I just used my resume that I had back home in Bangkok, Thailand. It didn't even change a bit. That was totally wrong. You need to learn about the job market here in the US. And I didn't network the right approach, American way, right? Build meaningful connections. So I changed my approach, and after I changed that, I got interview every week and finally got a job offer from Deloitte Consulting here in Chicago. So from that point of time, many international student friends reached out to me and asked for help. So I just started by volunteering, helping them, and just find it very rewarding for me because I got a chance to help someone that uh, I used to be in that boat too, in that situation too. So I started IcaWay, my own company, 4 years ago in 2017. We are now 4 years old, and it's just so great to be part of so many students' life in their career here in the US. So hopefully I'll be able to share a little bit of that experience coaching my students with your audience today.
Oh yeah, 100%. I'm sure you will. And I highly suggest to our audience today to follow Kwan and follow all her work on LinkedIn. I know Kwan, you post regularly as well. And um, so 4 years ago, Kwan, you realized, okay, I've been helping a lot of these people. There is opportunity here, and you decide to found your own company. And the company is International Careers Advisory. And I
Or I
love
see a way.
I love the name I See a Way because there is always a way. And I want to say this out loud to someone who's watching today. You know who you are. It's looking dark. You feel like there is no light at the end of the tunnel. I know that sounds very cliche. There's always a way, right? And hopefully our little session today will help you little by little get there, and get found and find the way that you're looking for. So fantastic. We have folks who are like all over the world. You guys, you are amazing. Yes, Lauren, she's in Chicago just like you. I highly suggest you guys meet. Chicago has some amazing career coaches. So fantastic. So Kwan, I want to get started because, firstly, I love the fact that we have so many people joining us. You guys can be anywhere. It's Friday, and the fact that you've chosen to be with us today, it means a lot. So we're going to make the most of our time together. No fluff. We're going to get straight to the meat of things. So we want to know from you, Kwan, from your own experience and also from your experience helping these students, right? And I heard you say this. You started this company 4 years ago. I really think of you, and I'm not mincing my words, I really think of you as a badass. Because you're like, I'm from Thailand. Look at this country. Look at this city. Everything is against me. People sound different, etc., etc. There could be so many things that people will be like, no, forget it. Kwan, leave it. Do something else. There's so many people who give that sort of advice. And you were like, I see a way. I see a way. And you went and do it. And you founded this company and you have partnered with some of the best colleges in the country. Amazing. Like, this is an amazing story and the, classiest American dream, if there were one. So, with that said, let's get going into all the different things that people can do, right? And to our viewers today, I want to talk about what are we going to talk about today? We're going to be very specific. We're going to see what are specific resume tips that you can use immediately when you are applying to a job where you don't have the relevant experience. Similarly, what are the best outreach tips to do that? What are the best interview tips to do that? And what are the best salary negotiation tips to do that? Because I am allergic to this question. Sonal, I cannot negotiate. I'm sorry. That sounds like a very bad idea. I heard this comment yesterday on my YouTube channel. You are corrupting the youth by telling them it's not about money. I'm like, come on. They have immigrated. They go from small cities to places like, Delhi, London, New York. You can't live on voluntary work and internships and love and fresh air. Let's be practical here a little bit in life. When you have the basics, then you can. So we're going to talk about all of this today. So love that you guys are joining us. So let's start with Quan. Let's start with the resume specifically. What are some things that people can do to tweak their resume so that they are on top of the pile? Because when someone's reading it, they're like, yeah, this person doesn't have experience.
Yeah, yes. So let me put it this way, with or without experience, right? Please treat the resume as a marketing material.
Yeah,
I think so. Now you talk a lot about 6 second rule, right?
yeah,
How a
yeah,
recruiter review a resume. They spend on the average only 6 seconds to review your resume, whether to keep it or trash. That is a pity.
yeah,
That is
yeah.
very unfortunate, but it's the fact because they have to review like thousands of resumes when they post jobs out there. So treat it like a marketing material. First of all, one common mistake that I have seen in so many resumes is that they don't have a career goal. They
Mm-hmm.
don't know who they are, they want to be, and what they offer. They treat the resume like a piece of paper with a record of the history of their life.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the wrong way to treat a resume. What do you think so now?
Yeah, 100%. It's I always say it, it's accomplishments, not description. And
Exactly.
in order to do that, Kwan, let's get a little bit more specific. What is that one or two thing that a person can do to make it look like a marketing brochure?
For sure, for sure. So first of all, you need to have a goal, a career goal, so you know your target job. It's like just imagine if when you are walking through the aisle in the grocery store, if you are, I always use this metaphor, soda, grape soda. When you look for grape soda, you want to look for the package with the word grape soda on it, right? And the picture of the grape. The color is purple, so that resonate to what you are looking for. So once you know your audience and know what they are looking for, then put together a resume that resonate to what they can relate to. So
Yeah.
how to do that? Define your career goal, and after that, do a job market research. Just download those job descriptions out there, 4 or 5 job descriptions, and study all those requirements and map back to your past experience and
Mm.
use that terminologies to create your resume.
Yeah.
And to pass that 6 second rule, definitely target job, strong technical skills that is related to that target job needs to be on the top of your resume.
Yeah. Yeah. I understand. All right. So your resume is not a document in a vacuum. Do not treat it like that. Relate it to the position, because if you don't have a goal, if you don't have a, what do you call it? If you don't have a
A
like a
career goal, a
destiny,
target job,
a
right?
target destination,
Hmm.
then any way will get you there, right? And that's
Right.
not what you want. You want the shortest, fastest shortcut to get there. And in order
Hmm.
to do that, use the language of the job description, so that when they read it and they say, ah, yeah, this person knows what this person knows what we're looking for, and this person knows our pain area. Let's call them for an interview, because that's, at the end of the day, that's what your resume is about,
Right.
getting called for an interview.
Exactly. And I
All
can
right.
add just one small thing. So now that
Yes.
for students that do not have much experience, they may find like, okay, for example, if I want to be a data analyst, but I never done any data analytics work before,
Yeah.
how can I, t- you know, translate my education and all of that to a resume for data analyst and data analyst role? So don't treat don't think that only paid job can be translated into your experience. School projects, volunteer work, anything that you get the chance to use your skills can be translated into your experience.
Yeah, 100%. Just said this is so important. When you don't have when you don't have relevant experience in the position that you're seeking, you immediately think that's a disadvantage. But there are other things you've done, which include volunteer experience, projects. It doesn't matter that that paid you nothing. It doesn't matter. You made a difference. Again, focus on accomplishments, not the project. Like, this was the project. Yeah, who cares? They don't care. This was the project. This is what I got out. This is what the company got out of it. This is how I can help you. And the company's like, ooh, I'm listening. Like, ooh, this is good. So,
I
yeah,
love it.
fantastic. Yeah. No, this is fantastic, because um, hopefully that helps anyone listening today who's starting their career, particularly in their early 20s, and they're like, I can't, I don't have experience, so I can't get this job. which does not honestly make any sense. So I love this comment by Kevin. Quan, your tips are better than morning coffee because he's in Texas. It's also 7 in the morning for him. So
I
love
just
it.
came back from Texas, visiting my
Oh
friends for
yeah.
2 weeks. Yes,
Oh,
it
oh,
was
lovely.
so hot, like 100 degrees.
Yeah, I'm guessing that's in Fahrenheit, so that'll be like, yeah, 40 degrees. Oh
40,
gosh, that's
yes.
hot. 40 degrees Celsius. That's warm.
It
So
was like in the
awesome. So
ocean.
this was a great and Varsha's, who's a resume writer in India, it's like, record your history. That's where we go wrong. No one is mapping your out. Nobody cares about the input. What we care about, not even the output. What we care about is the outcome. Outcome. So fantastic. Quan, I'm going to do something I've never done before. This is very interesting. So there is a feature on YouTube where somebody pays and their question gets bumped up, and I'm like, oh, I did not. This is the first time I'm seeing it happen. CC Moon. Hello. Firstly, thank you for the
Hello.
thank you for the donation. My job wants to reclassify my position. Woohoo! Do you think that's a 15-20% salary increase? Good question, CC. Quan, what do you think from your days in Deloitte?
My job wants to
Reclassify my
reclassify my
position.
position. Mm. Okay, so you mean that like you are in your current job, your current company, and then the company want to move you. It's like job rotation, right?
I think what this means is, you have these bands and grades in the position. So, for example, let's say your current job grade is B4 and they
Mm-hmm.
want to make it B2. So what you're asking is, do you think it means this much?
Got
Quan can't
yeah,
answer that, and I can't answer that. The only people who can answer that are people who are doing the grading. It's a proper
true.
scientific exercise. Those are people that work in the comp and ben department. So this is a little bit unrelated to our topic. I suggest let them be the ones to figure it out. Leave this to the experts, and whatever it is they do, I think it'll be good for you. So I like that you have such a positive attitude. CC Moon, wish you
That's
wish
right.
you the best. Fantastic. So um now I see this question from Avantika. I've got a lot of interviews lined up. Hey, congrats. That's fantastic. I have a lot of videos on my YouTube channel on how to do interviews. So definitely watch that. But also stay here because we're going to be talking about interviews as well. So hopefully these are, tips that you guys are going to remember as far as your resume is concerned. Now you have this document, Quan, it looks amazing. You're much more happier with it than you were before, but it doesn't do anything for you, right? You have to use it. You have to take it places. Otherwise, it's like a Ferrari sitting in the garage.
I love that.
So, what are the best ways for someone to reach out and they're like, I don't know anyone. I don't have a network. And I've
Mm.
never worked before, like for money. So they may not take me seriously. With all these limiting beliefs, what is your favorite, tips, strategies to help people get over themselves?
Of course. So we talk a little bit about finding your career goal, right? And
Mhm.
to find that career goal, let's say if you are a student right now or pivoting your career, then it means you need to talk to people, right? And use that networking opportunity to, you know, reach out to them and ask about what day-to-day life is and get more curious about their role. So instead of reaching out to people just to look for job, you can reach out to people to ask for advice and to get to know them about their career to see if that is the career goal that you want to target. And especially as student, use your student card. As you are a student, people want to help you so much. So reach out to them, let them know I am taking a program here at this school and I'm just interested in getting into, let's say, data analytics role. Would love to chat with you for 5 minutes to learn a little bit how you build your career here in the US. So
And when you do that, Quan, I mean, it's also a little bit of the numbers game, right? Because when you are reaching out, asking for an informational chat, what is it? I mean, the more targeted it is, the better, but it's like 3 out of 10, something like that, that actually get back to you.
that's absolutely right. But again, like I'm not a numbers game person. I'm a people game. So when you become more strategic, you know exactly how to increase that number, right?
Mhm.
First of
Mm.
all, let's say if you are using LinkedIn, you can have a look on their activities to see if they are very active on LinkedIn or not. So you can target people who are quite active on LinkedIn. And again, filter maybe someone who is your alumni, then you have something in common, right? Or reaching out to, let's say if you are international, reaching out to someone who's also have international background as well.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that message that you reach out to that person, try to find something about them
Yeah.
to break the ice instead of coming off like, I am doing this, I'm doing that, I want to connect with you. Talk about them. Hey, I read your amazing article and I would love to hear more from you, learn more from you. Use that message and then you will have high chances of getting a response.
Okay, fantastic. I want to recap this because this is so important. Anyone who's watching us, chances are you've been to school or
Mhm.
you've been to college. Chances are you've been to college because you're looking at work, and a lot of places still need college, right? You know, university experience. LinkedIn is very underutilized. Oh my gosh. Through LinkedIn, you can do a search functionality and see who are alumni from your university. And like Quan said, you have those people in common. You are not Tom or Dick or Harry from the street.
Right.
And second, people who are so one is university, and the other is they follow the similar hashtags or interests. You have something in common, so you're not starting from scratch, right, Kwan? That's very important.
Exactly. And Nian just added a great comment here. Regardless of your career level, it's important to not overlook the power of your college, university alumni network. That's so
Yeah.
true, Nian.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And a lot of colleges will have like those old CV books, etc., or online. And if they don't, you have LinkedIn for that. LinkedIn is like the greatest CV book out there for all the colleges in the
Mhm.
world. So it's fantastic. And I saw this question: whether is it resume or CV in India? I think it doesn't really matter. It's tomato tomato. Resume is a term I see more used in the United States,
Right.
and in other parts of the world we say CV. It's the same thing at the end of the day, but in India, if you say resume or CV, both are clearly understood. And I see quite a few questions in here, so let's quickly get to your questions because I'm like drowning in here. Such lovely participation. It's good to see all of you. Let's see. Some questions are a little bit generic, so I will request you to make it more specific, right? So, for example, I saw something, and feel free, Kwan, if you see something and you're like, hey, that's something that I think I'd like to help answer.
Okay. There is a question from Suraj
Hmm.
asking about how to look for people with similar roles on in LinkedIn, or you mean on LinkedIn?
Yeah,
Maybe
LinkedIn.
you're referring on LinkedIn, right? So on LinkedIn, there is a great search engine, powerful search engine that I love so much, and it's free. Um, let's say
I will
yeah,
share my screen because that is the best way.
okay, perfect.
And so while you're talking, go ahead.
Yes, and I can even help you target, it better by looking into people in the role in the company. Let's say if you want to connect with someone in Deloitte, right, in Chicago, you can go to Deloitte page, click people, and
Can
then
you see my screen? You can see.
yes,
Yeah.
I
Okay.
can see your screen.
So,
Perfect.
for example, like what did Kwan say? If I want to see somebody in Deloitte,
Right, Deloitte, and you can click people, and then you can filter Chicago, and let's say if your role you want to connect with the management, the leadership team, director, partner, you
yeah,
can look for that. So
yeah.
use that search engine right there behind those total number of people, and it will help you filters those people, targeted role, targeted location.
And even like you said, it doesn't even like have to be Deloitte company. If I just write Deloitte and I do this, it says people,
Yeah.
jobs. companies, what do you want? And you click on, so
People.
when you click on all filters, like Quan said, it's a very powerful search engine. What was their previous industry? Which, maybe they're alumni of Deloitte, and maybe they're second degree connections, and people who've been posting content in this past month, because you want people who are a little bit more active.
Right.
So there's so many different ways to do it. The sky's the limit. It's free. It's the best
Yes.
part. So if you have no budget, great time to be looking for a job. I know that sounds counterintuitive. We're in the middle of like a heavy recession, but these jobs are available at your
Mhm.
fingertips. You don't have to go to a cyber cafe and look through newspapers that come every. I had a podcast guest, and he used to wait every Thursday because there would be
Mhm.
these classified ads for jobs. You don't have to do that. It's right there. So fantastic. Suraj, that'll definitely help you out. So I see questions like, I'm doing this today and I want to move to that. So, do it. A great way to start would be projects. Ask for more work. Ask for something, and I see you've written your question many, many times. So, Kaushar, take advantage of resources that are already in there, and watch the live stream, because we're going to be talking a lot more about this today. So now let's talk about interview, because I saw some questions about interviews as well. So Kwan, you get invited to an interview and you don't have work experience. You're doing your best to prepare. What are your favorite tips and strategies to help someone stand out so the interview gets converted to a second round, third round, and then finally the offer letter?
Absolutely. So m- in my training, I always tell my student, know your employer's needs. That
Mm-hmm.
means when you are in that job interview, create a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, you need to have that perfect pitch, right? Like tell me about yourself and walk through your resume. Need to use the popular star approach: situation, task, action, result. So that is a basic thing that you definitely need to make your answer concise, structured, and powerful with the result. But then don't forget to create a conversation. In that job interview is not a test. It is for you to find out what they are looking for, what are their top challenges, and how you can come in as a team member, a potential team member, to help them solve that business problem. So that will help you stand out in the job interview.
So, can you give an example, Kwan, of this, to answer very typical questions where you are using the STAR method?
Mhm. So for myself, actually, I changed that star to SPAR, SPAR.
Okay.
Situation. It was, for example, I can talk about my time here at IcaWay, right?
Mhm.
It is it is my current job here as the CEO and founder of IcaWay. I manage a team of 5 interns, and we also collaborate with uh, 7 advisory board members here to help international students find jobs in the US. Problem. The one of the most challenging problem that I experienced was when I needed to help the employers understand about how the value that they would get from hiring international students. Then action, the action that I took, what I did was I put together an employer handbook to help them evaluate the cost and benefit of hiring international students. As a result, the result part, as a result, we successfully increased 10% of the chances that international students get hired in the US.
Oh my
An
gosh.
example.
I
Fresh
am I am
improvisation.
giving you, I no, amazing. I know that I put you on the spot here with this question. This
Mhm.
is such a fantastic demo, live demo. We did not practice this, in case you guys are wondering. This is completely off script, but this shows quick thinking, thinking on the feet. This will happen in interviews. And if you guys are watching this, I highly suggest you rewind to minute 29 and watch the replay, because Kwan did a live demo of the STAR method in her own way, and she calls it the SPAR method. Absolutely love it. Situation, problem, action, result. And the result was quantifiable. I love you so much for doing that. I love numbers. There's nothing like the power of numbers to to showcase, not just tell, but also showcase what you've done, and how you've done it.
Thank you so much, Sonam.
So, Pooja, watch the replay. We're not going to be doing this again. We're going to be here forever. This will definitely help you out. So, fabulous. And, Kwan, I saw a question here. Some of these really, I call these butt questions, like boring, unoriginal, and very traditional.
Mhm.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
I love it.
I hate these questions because the person who's asking, chances are you don't even know what they're doing tomorrow. Forget 5 years, forget 5 months.
Uh-huh.
So how would you address this one?
Okay, give a suggestion on this to perfect this answer, right? So it depends on where you are right now, depending on the role that you are applying for. Like if you are in the entry level, okay, because now we talk about people who don't have experience, right? In 5 years, you definitely want to be the expert in your field.
Hmm.
So you can tell them that, okay, right now this is I want to really get my hands on this field. And in 5 years, I see myself as an expert in data analytics. I see myself as someone who can write white paper and help the company become the brand ambassador and also help lead the team and mentor other staff that you hire in the future. So to get to that point, then you provide some kind of tangible plans that you want to do in order to achieve that part. But the company love it when they hear that you want to be the go-to person, you want to be the expert in your field, you want to build your leadership role, mentor and coach other. They love those keywords.
They love those keywords, and obviously, I mean, um, at the end of the day, you want to be honest. You don't want to say
Mhm.
something because it sounds good and it's like this sort of buzzword, but um, what I like about what you said, Kwan, is showcase learning goals,
Mhm.
not so much performance goals. And there's a book on this that I read called The Inner Game of Work. And they interview salespeople. And like rather than just say, sales targets, always focus on how you can listen more to the customer, because when you do that, sales will come. Focus on the learning goals, not so much the future sort of performance goals, etc. And so when you do that, that showcases you're hungry, you're curious, and those are qualities that never go out of style.
That's
So
amazing advice,
yeah,
Sona.
yeah, fantastic. All right. I saw a comment here, which I'm very happy to see. Hi, Raj. After subscription to this channel, you cracked an interview in these Corona times. Congratulations. There's so many success stories. Kwan, it's one of the best feelings in the world. This is why we do what we do. And I love it. So there's another question here from Katrajita, who says sometimes interviewers are like bricks.
Mhm.
I can think of another word that rhymes with bricks. Uh,
Hard to
instead
crack.
of yeah, instead of making us feel comfortable, they try to look intimidating.
Mm.
How can you give tips about that?
Yeah. That's too bad when the interviewer just put you into that, stress test position. And some companies they do that intentionally, depending on your role, right? So, well, it's like networking. You have to read the other person personality too when you deliver the story, right? So for that intimidating interviewer, it means they just want to be serious, and they want, maybe they just want to hear something like factual, if that is their personality. However, it doesn't mean that you have to position yourself as intimidating person as well. You can be as friendly as you are, be yourself, and then ask questions and be curious about that person. So even though they come up like very intimidating, you can always ask questions to break that ice. You can do some research about that person in advance. If they have been with the company for more than 10 years, ask them about, please share with me, what keeps how the company keeps the talent, like maintain the talent like yourself for a long time. What is about this company that you really want to stay here for a long
Yeah.
time? So
Yeah.
you can ask those kind of questions to get to know them.
Summary, Katrachita, ask lots of questions. And you cannot control the answers. You do not control their personalities. If they are not nice, that's okay. Move on. That's okay. They're not
Mhm.
meant to be best friends with you. So
Yeah.
good, Kwan, good examples of questions here. So there was another question that came in earlier on YouTube. I want to upgrade my profile, learn new skills, but no organization is giving me opportunities. I have 10 years experience. What do I do?
Hmm. I want to upgrade my profile. Okay. Okay. So 10 years of experience is amazing, right? Learn new skills. Again, we talk a lot about defining your career goals. So from this 10 years of experience, you want to do the same thing or you want to change your career path, right?
It
If you want
looks
to do
like
the
change. It looks like change because there's a lot of questions coming around on
Mhm,
change, and that's one of the things we're talking about today. Because you, whether you're a new new graduate, or you're someone with 10 years experience, um, like Aruva, very similar
mhm,
question. I'm experienced, take up new responsibilities without prior experience. It's the same thing, right, Kwan? The beginner
mhm.
mindset of a 21, 22-year old, whether you're 10 years experience, whether you have 25 years experience, right?
Right, right.
So, and I saw a question there about the 25 years experience. So what would be your best tip to help someone to make that switch?
Hmm. Network is the powerful tool, the best powerful tool for you if you want to make a switch of your career. Don't just sit in front of your computer and update your resume. Don't do that. Go and talk to people in the position that you want to be in, this your, we call that desired state position, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
talk to them, get to know them. Besides learning about their job, you may also be able to build that rapport with them, and eventually that can lead to job referrals. Who knows?
Yeah, no, and you do need to. I know you talked about quality, and I completely agree with you. You do need quality, you do need quantity, and have targets. Have targets. Let's say 5 people a week. You will reach out. You will have tea or coffee with them over Zoom. In a way, because of COVID, it's easier now than ever. You don't have to go somewhere. You don't have to take a bus, a car, a train to get there. Parking, blah. You just switch on, put on Zoom, put on Skype. You're talking to this person. So much time has been saved. Meet people. The more, some people will turn out to be friends.
Mhm.
You'll have friendships, and that's great because friends help friends. Some people you will never see them again, ever. That's
Mhm.
okay. Yeah, you sometimes
True.
have to kiss a few frogs before you meet the prince.
Right. We cannot win everyone, and I love that.
No, no, I understand that. And a lot of these questions are related to, because I saw some questions here which are related to what we talked about, which is after a break. I want to change. I've had a break. I've had 10 years, somebody wrote 25 years, and I've had a break in my career. Do you think that the sabbatical is, I mean, how should they view their sabbatical?
Hmm. Yes. Actually, a few students that reach out to me, they also have like a year or 2 years of employment gap as well. But I think maybe that gap that you are referring to could be a mom who raised kids, right? That is even challenging. So, um, I would say, first of all, find a volunteer opportunity by getting involved with professional organizations. Those organizations give you the opportunity to um, refresh your skills, and also that will be the opportunity to network with others. For example, if you want to get back to project management role, maybe
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
job that you did 5 years ago, 10 years ago, all those tools may be outdated already. So get involved with PMI. If you're in San Francisco, then PMISF, right, in San Francisco Bay Area. Volunteer, get to know project management professionals, and that is how you start and help fill in that gap. And then your resume, you can put that volunteer on the top. So it's not going to be back in 2016. It's going to be right now, 2021.
Yeah, no, love it. Fantastic. So, volunteer, reach out, talk to people. That's a superpower. That's a secret which is not so secretive, and it's definitely going to make a difference. So lots of other questions. We're going to come back to your questions. Let's talk about salary negotiation. When you are someone who has no relevant experience in the industry or the function that you're applying to, whether you're 22 years old or you are 45 years old, in that sense, what's your best tip? Because I saw some other questions on salary negotiation, so let's see what Quan, because I talk a lot about salary negotiation on YouTube, but Quan, I'd love to hear your point of view.
Absolutely. And I wanted to share one of the latest experience. Like even this week, already helped like at least three students with their salary negotiation.
Yes.
And
Yes.
one student, this is her first job offer in the US, full-time job offer. So she said, "Oh, I don't want to, make them feel that I am too demanding. I like me taking time to evaluate a job offer for 1 week and then ask them to increase the salary. I feel so awkward and I'm afraid that they're gonna take back the offer." So the question I asked her is, did you do this for like, do you think, no, sorry, let me repeat that again. Did the company give you a job as a favor?
Hmm.
Or did they really see your potential and really like you? So then she got the answer. Yes, they see her potential and they really like her. This is not a favor, right? So you have the right to evaluate all the options and come back with the negotiation. And salary is not the only thing that you can negotiate. You can start by, you're not going to be too demanding, right? You can be polite when you negotiate as well. You can ask, um, can you please let me know if the salary is negotiable, right? They may say, what number are you thinking? And then you come up with a number. If they say this is the stretch that we can do, then ask them what are other things on the offer, like compensation or overtime pay or sign-on bonus that can be negotiable. So there's so much more than salary that you can negotiate.
Oh yeah, 100%. I love this point on charity. No company is doing a favor to anyone because it's a pure business transaction when they hire you for a job.
Mhm.
And why do we bring emotions into the business transaction on the other side of the table? I love this argument. Uh, Hence, approach it like the business transaction that it is. That's
Mhm.
what you're saying. And um, give rationale, give a logic why you're asking for these increases. Money is important. There are other aspects which everything is negotiable, and I talk about it as well. So hopefully this question will never come again. If it does, I'm going to tell people to watch the replay that yes, you can negotiate as someone with no relevant experience, because if they've offered you the job, they know you can do the job, and you can showcase how you can do it differently compared to someone with even more experience. You bring in fresh set of eyes, etc. So that sounds extremely useful. Oh, wow. So much ground we've covered. It's like 43 minutes into the conversation.
Uh-huh.
And you're absolutely right. It's win-win for both. It's never a one-sided. It's never a one-sided street. So completely appreciate it. And just say no to practicing.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Kevin, that's
exhausting.
a good one.
It's exhausting. And I really like that Raj is taking advantage of this platform. It's absolutely free. He's got so much value from it. Raj, I'm very, very happy for you. And a quick shout out to Gandharv. He's been following Supercharge Fridays for almost a year. I think he's got an offer from a fantastic e-learning platform after a I'm guessing 10 months. Uh,
Mhm.
and 50% hike. Dude,
Wow.
congratulations in this economy. Well done. You're very, very welcome. So if it can happen for him, it can happen for us. Just please, just don't lose faith. Please. It's just easy to forget about it and only focus on your own problems. And I see so many other questions about like, hey, I'm worried about this. There's so many different things you can do. Okay, guys, if you have questions, put the word question in caps lock, in how do you say it in English? Oof, mayúsculos, capital letters. Put the word question and then write your question so that I can see it, because otherwise it's going to drown.
How many languages do you speak, Sonal?
Uh, 4.
Amazing.
And you've got Thai,
Thai,
English.
English. I took a little bit of German when I worked at BMW and a little bit of Mandarin, but I forgot all of them. I'm so sorry. I feel
Yeah.
so bad.
It's a question of keeping in touch. I completely understand that. So Geetika's asking, how do you map yourself with working flow after so much gap in your career? So Geetika, quick answer: watch a video I have on my YouTube channel. It's 17 minutes long on gaps in your career, and we also talked about it with Quan some time ago. So maybe if you're joining us late, definitely watch the replay. You'll get a lot out of it. And another question about gap. Um, should I worry? The answer is no. I know. I've been looking to transition to a role about which I am passionate about, but somehow I've been procrastinating it. What do I do? What do you think, Kwan?
Mm. Then stop procrastinating it. uh,
Why?
I would
Why
say
are you procrastinating? That's a question. What's going
yes,
on?
yes, right. But it's great that you have that self awareness. That's the best. You are brave enough to share that with us. So let's get over that procrastination and come back and network,
Yeah.
volunteer,
Yeah.
right? Great things don't come easy. It
Yeah.
requires persistence and efforts to make it happen.
Yeah, it takes time, and get to know yourself a little bit. Like, why are you procrastinating? Is it something you don't want? Are you not motivated? What's lacking? Maybe there's clarity. Maybe you need to work with a coach. I don't know. It's worth finding out about it. All right. So Shashi, no unemployment gap does not matter. We just talked about that as well. So any other questions, you guys? Where let's see. Do you think that internships should be compulsory for every student to get clear academic qualifications? This would help us to get
Hmm.
hired after college. Do you think, Quan, internships should be compulsory?
I I don't like the word compulsory, sorry, but I would say, experience is good to have for sure, right? Because let's say not just resume, but in the job interview, you need to be able to tell your story. Like that SPAR approach, SPAR approach that I just demo. You have to have that experience to talk about it. So internship, volunteer, coursework, do it. Do whatever you have that kind of opportunity to perform, to shine, to build experience and have that story,
Yeah.
leadership story, problem solving story, all of that.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And Anis, in fact, in certain countries like in France, in many colleges, it is compulsory, and I think it's good. It helps students to get out of the
Mhm.
student mindset and get out in the real world. They start earning a little bit, not a lot, but they get used to being independent. It helps companies see their potential, and a lot of them get jobs from those internships as well. So I really think of it as win-win. So if your degree is 4 years or 5 years, one of that year or two of those years are full time internships. So you've got the wonderful combination of academics as well as street smart knowledge, which you can only get with a proper routine of working every single day,
Right.
and not just spending time with professors. As much as I love education and I love professors, but you do need, if you want to work in academia, that's great, but if you want to work in the industry, then it's definitely helpful.
True.
You were going to say something, Kwan?
Yes, I would like to add. So I just missed out that part that he said, get clear academic qualifications. So make sure that you get in touch with your academic advisor to know
Yeah.
about your program because each program is different. Some program required, the internship before you graduate. Some may not. So please check with your school, your academic advisor.
Yeah. All right. So fantastic. So we see a lot of questions. I'm not necessarily sure a lot of the questions are sort of related. I'll do my best to help you, but we're going to move on to make sure we don't take up too much of Kwan's time. Kwan, if you look back, it's been how long now since you've been working?
Oh my
15 years? 10,
More
15
than
years?
15 years
More than
now.
15 years. Is there a
Time never
particular
stops. Time flies.
time
Right?
flies? Time flies. Time flies when you're having fun, I think.
Oh, yes, it is.
So, what would be like one lesson that you wish you knew sooner?
Yes. So lots of lessons. But one of the lessons that I would like to share with our audience today is that I wish I had embraced mentoring and coaches more when I first came here to the US. I struggled by myself and I realized that actually the path could be more pleasant, right? So that concept of mentoring and coaching is so important when you are in the transition. There are opportunities out there, as I mentioned, participate in the professional affiliation, get to know people and build that mentor and mentee relationship. When I first came here, my mind was about I'm going to find that job because I've never been I'm unemployed before. I need job. And I forgot to build relationship at the beginning. If I could go back in time, I definitely would love to change that approach by just, you know, dropping that mindset about finding job, but building meaningful relationship and find mentors for long-term relationship.
Yeah.
I just start to realize that, and it's been great. Like today is amazing, but I wish that I could have changed what I did in the past.
Yeah, I understand that. Makes a lot of sense. Fantastic. So this has been so much fun and so much learning with Kwan, who's taken out time from her busy day, early morning in Chicago. I see a lot more questions, guys. I'm sorry we run out of time, but I want to say a huge thank you to Kwan. And if you want to follow her more, definitely take advantage. Check out her content on LinkedIn, follow her. My favorite tip would be follow before connecting, because I get these blind connection requests every day and I don't understand why this person wants to connect with me. So I'm starting to become a bit more picky. I used to be more generous with it. If you want to follow her, say you saw her here on Supercharged Fridays today, tell her, share with her your favorite take. This is a great way to meet people. So this is not just a tip for reaching out to Quan, but also, what's your favorite takeaway from our session? Take advantage and definitely connect with her. And if you are in the US and you know someone in the US who's a student, definitely ask them to check out IcaWay.com, because Quan's firm specializes in helping students who are already in the United States. So I saw a question which was about getting jobs in Google, Amazon in the US. That's a very different topic. We're not going to be able to get there today, but if you're already in that place, it's a little bit easier to apply for jobs, right? Because visas are not easy. Fantastic. So last thing I want to say is do join us next week at the same time. I'm going to have the amazing Jeff Young. I can't see his comments anymore. I think it's sort of disappeared up there. Jeff is one of the best LinkedIn gurus out there, and the topic is brilliant. The topic is how to create a perfect LinkedIn post. And he's written an article called The Anatomy of the Perfect LinkedIn Post. So definitely join us for that. So, Quan, big thank you for joining us today and giving us your time.
Such a pleasure. Thank you so much for having me today.
And
And I
thanks,
will see you
everyone.
next Friday
Yes, yes,
as an
fantastic.
audience.
Yeah, lovely audience. Thank you guys for being with us today. Take care of yourselves. Have a lovely weekend ahead. Bye.
Okay, bye.